You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, the home of sports, gambling, entertainment, and whatever the hell else has gone on this week. So pull up a seat by the fire, crack open a cold one, and make sure to get your bets in. Welcome to the Pine Room.
All right, everybody, welcome into the Pine Room Podcast, episode 90. Take two right here. We just had to restart it, but we're back 10 away from 100 episodes, if you can believe it. I don't think we can, but this is my third straight episode here in the captain's chair. We got a little bit of a light studio today. If I can switch over the camera.
Lighting the loafers.
It's myself, Chris, Coach, and Jeff. Jubb is not with us. He's got some sickness.
Bowel issues.
He's got some a little bit. I don't even know. Well, it's funny we talked about Chris.
IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
Something I don't know. I don't even know what you would call it. There's
a lot of shit flying around right now.
He's not in good shape.
No pun intended.
It's not coming out of the front end. Yeah. It's coming out of the back end.
The white walls.
And it's funny, Chris, because we talked about it pretty much the entire episode in 88. Was about shit.
Oh, so, yeah.
Ironically, Jubb is having.
Oh man, that's karma.
I know.
Hold on, is that a good karma or bad karma? I guess I'm not sure. He's cleansing himself out.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, he might be losing some weight. I guess that could be a good.
Like, does he feel okay?
Yesterday he was getting some real stomach pains coming, going, today I don't think the pains are as bad, but he's still going to the bathroom.
No fun.
Yeah.
No
like
fun.
a lot.
Well,
like,
we wish him nothing but the
but
the best.
He hasn't eaten, so I don't know what could be left in his stomach.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just eaten. Like
so
stuff. But yeah, we're this is probably the first time we've ever done a show in the morning, I think.
Actually, not to contradict you, we did this last year.
Did we do it last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's currently 11:15 in the morning, day after Christmas. How was Christmas? Okay, fellas. Well, I know. Coach and I had a good day, good few days. Well, we were talking before this. We've had a hell of a stretch of drinking, and partying,
celebrating.
Yes, celebrating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been since it's Tuesday. We started on. Well, I know for me Friday. I think you'd coach on Thursday, right?
Well, you technically go back the previous weekend too for you guys.
Yeah, for
you guys had
the
whole
Christmas
weekend,
party,
Christmas
and
party.
then.
Had a few days off, and then we're back.
What was Thursday? I don't remember.
That answers
Thursday
your question.
You had a meeting or something.
No, you had.
They went to the vets, right?
You had faculty party.
Yeah, that's right. You had the Ohio County party.
I had a basketball game, and then went to the faculty party, which was really fun. Nick Nardoni did a great job with that.
He's still running it, huh?
Yeah, and it was really fun. I get to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time, and that was really fun. Probably drank more than I should have there.
Yeah, so you go that party on Thursday, and then we come Friday for our 5-hour Christmas special radio show down here at the Watchdog Studios, which was awesome. We had a great time.
Got a lot of good reviews.
Really good time. I think a lot of people that we didn't even know were in here checking it out, and I think they thought it was just a place to hang out, but
that is
no, it was good. We had a good time still. We
great food,
a lot of drinks, and the radio show really for 5 hours went really well. We had a lot of fun, and Jeff, you finally got to hop on for a little bit and did a good job. It was good though.
I think I was telling you and Matt that day. Told the wife, I'm like, man, why'd they sign up to do a couple additional hours that day, like instead of just trying to sit back? But I agree. Like I was shell shocked on how quick 5 hours.
5 hours went fast,
just like that.
Yeah,
and I was only a small piece of it.
Yeah,
I was going to mention that too because I've filled in maybe 2 or 3 times on the 12 to 3 show, and every time I've done it, it's just flown by. And I don't know if these guys feel the same way every week that they do it, but it does go fast. And the 5 hours on Friday were no different. We're switching in and out, but 5 hours, it went by fast.
Well, and especially when you're talking about fun stuff, and we're sitting there laughing and drink. Well, we started drinking. Well, I know Coach gave Matt.
Somebody started right from the get go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who that was.
Love the deer in the headlight look.
Did what?
started drinking
yeah.
it from the
Yeah.
from
I
the
mean,
rip. But it was
It's
It was
Christmas,
a Christmas
right?
party.
it was Christmas.
Do you guys feel? I think we talked about this a little bit. Do you guys feel hands down, like just I guess starting in Thanksgiving up until Christmas, that your alcohol consumption does? Like there is something to that,
my
right?
God, absolutely.
Because you
What-
think about it, you young bucks Wednesday night. I'm sure you guys all went out Wednesday night before.
Yep.
I forget what I did, but that would probably be the start of like,
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
god, the next month is going to be.
Yeah, and it's every there's a get together every weekend, and you're drinking. And heck, for us, I'd say even start of the fall, start of end of August, our consumption goes up.
That's probably true too.
Well, and then that and how much
Jesus,
food
we
you
just-
shovel.
Well,
And that's
yeah.
the other thing too. It's
Yeah.
hard to be
You're-
good.
you're-
Like to try to even be any semi-conscious is like
We don't want to hurt people's feelings and
No.
put food out and
Christ.
go to all the, spending and cooking and baking. You don't want to make them feel bad.
90% of the time when you're sitting there drinking, and
Don't need to eat. I know what
no,
you're going to say.
you're not even hungry.
That's the thing.
It's just like
It's so true though.
you're eating a handful of peanuts or a cookie, and like you're not hungry.
Well, I was just gonna say, when you're drinking and at parties, food is so available. I mean, it's right in front of you, and then you got tables of set, and then you walk by it and you're thinking, well, I'll try that cookie.
Yeah.
And then I'll try that.
that
I'll
cookie.
try that spaghetti or whatever it is. But it's like, well, you think, well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if I don't try it, and then you want to try it and say, oh, this was great, and go make them feel good.
But here's the thing: after January 1st, you'll look at peanuts and potato chips and cookies and just almost throw up, really, just
So much of
because enough's enough. Like because I know what's happening here the rest of this week. It's not going to be good the rest of this week. We've already got
No.
plans for 3 or 4 nights, and then New Year's Eve we're going to go to hockey.
Definitely no beers there though. For sure
Oh.
not.
No, lock in for the hockey
Then
game.
I'll go, and then
Facetious?
yeah.
Okay,
I always walk. I agree with Weekly, man. I don't know what it is. I go to events at the Civic Center, and the next day is just a blur. And I don't know if I'm somebody's roofie. Like Weekly swears he gets roofied, but it's weird. I don't know if it's the CO2 of beer. I don't know. Like, because I do drink a lot of draft down there.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Well, Mark, when we've gone to the games, and Jarrett, you too, every time if you're with Weekly, you guys come to the section. You both have 4 in those cup carriers. You have 4 each. It's like you guys. I mean,
Like it's the first time we've ever drank before. Like it's the craziest. I agree. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm glad you're calling my ass out, Chris.
Oh no,
'cause-
no,
that's
because
a
it's
good
true.
But it's just like
It's true.
You two are machines.
No, it's not that. It's just being goofy. What the hell am I even doing? It's
Well, you
just
don't want to
dumb.
have to get back up and go down to the concourse.
You know
again.
what? I appreciate that. That's what I'm. That's
That's just
myself,
smart.
too. Yeah,
that's smart. I think that's what it is. But
Jesus.
so again, we go Christmas party down here on Friday, and then Saturday obviously it's Christmas Eve. So
Man,
Again,
we had folks. Well, I went down to the club on Saturday afternoon. Forget what I went.
you had to
down.
get ice.
Oh, I had to get ice, and then I had to stop in and wish everybody a
Oh,
Merry
Well,
Christmas.
well,
and I
that's
had-
awfully.
And then I ran into Pat McCormick, and I didn't want to. He was sitting there by himself, and I felt bad, so I stayed with him for about an hour and
and
a half.
that would be weird to sit there and talk to him while you drink a soda.
Right. Plus, soda gives me ulcers and
Yeah.
zits.
Well, it was funny because he. Well, that's why.
right
yeah,
on the
you would-
old
you would
asshole.
never-
It was it right on the old asshole.
You
So-
would never do that. But it was funny because he comes home and it was like it probably was only 3 maybe, and I'm sitting there and I think I might have even drinking a pop, just kind of relaxing, and he comes in and with a twisted tea at 3:00, and we didn't have family come over till like 6:30. I'm like, why? And I couldn't figure out why he was drinking already. Well, figures he
Yeah,
already was.
so-
You know, I really appreciate this whole story. The fact of the matter that you preface that I had to go get ice at the vets, and then you see a lonely.
Well, they have good ice. I
They
like
are-
their ice.
and
Chris
then-
likes their ice too.
And I hear I'm not throwing shade, and then you see a lone soldier down at the end there. He's just by himself, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I need to go nestle in and
It's
have
a
a beer.
Christmas season. You want to take care of
Hey,
people.
I don't blame you.
Jeez,
I think
Louise,
it sounded
yeah.
great.
Yeah, and and being a friendly guy Mark is, the guy could be down on his luck, maybe needs a shoulder to cry on, or just
Right,
just,
Pat's
just
wife
spill
was
it,
working.
just make himself feel better. Let it all out. And Mark's that guy.
That Mark is that guy. And then he came out and the goddamn ice was melted and he had to fucking do it all.
She had to go back in and do it
That's
all over.
his like,
again.
fuck, I forgot what I was here for.
When I was going to have one, and I walked in, and Pat had a whole bucket of beer in front of him. So I was like,
Just becomes math.
Pat, are you going to drink all those? And he said, yeah, I'm going to stay for a while. I said, okay. Are you okay? And he said, well, will you stay with me?
I thought he was going to look at you and say, I need help drinking
all
these.
right.
Could you help me?
No, those were his. I didn't want to get those.
He said he had a sign at the end of the bar saying any help will do.
Yeah.
Any help will do.
Please.
So that was my good deed for the day, and it made me feel good. And then I went home, and my wife's side of the family came up, which ended up being really a lot of fun. And I drank pretty heavily there. And then Christmas Day, we got up, did our thing, and then went to my sister's and had a really fun day.
That's great.
So it's been five straight now for
So, and you guys,
Coach.
New Year's, Christmas Eve, was that a drinker for you? Did you?
It was, but I'll be honest with you, it has changed a little bit. We have, obviously, my niece is pregnant and literally due at any time. And then my nephew, they had to leave for Morgantown that night to go down to his in-laws. So to answer your question, yes, there was some drinks, but I was leading the pack. Like, that wasn't... I had some people.
Well, you had to set the pace.
I set the pace, but it was a great day though. Yeah, it was a
Chris,
great
what
day.
did you guys do Christmas Eve?
Went out to Heller's house. They have a big party.
They do. That's right. I forgot about that.
So, and it's changed too. When we were talking, I think on the radio show. Because I used to go to my mom's on Christmas Eve, and so when she passes, then things change. So I forget what I did the last few years, or after that happened. But then like the last 2 or 3 years, they invited us out. A big party, food, drink. Santa shows up, and
That's pretty cool.
and I stayed too late. But anyway,
It's funny you say that
and
too.
then yesterday over
I'm sorry.
Paula's, and it just wears you out. I mean.
But isn't it
It's
amazing
nonstop.
isn't it amazing how your calendar fills up? Like
Yes.
it looks like there's a chance there's a couple of open days, and all of a sudden my sister texted me. I was running around today, and she said, "Oh, come up and see the." Aunt Lynn texted me. My sister Lynn said, "Come on up and see the house this week, and you haven't seen it yet." So that fills a day. Michael Grove's in town this week, and we always have an annual dinner with them. That's on Wednesday, probably Thursday there. Then Saturday, I'm sure will turn into something.
Saturday.
And then Sunday's New Year's Eve. So, like, does your calendar fill like?
It does. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
it's incredible.
It is.
Is today a day off?
Yeah, actually it is. And
Yeah.
when this is done,
It
I
means-
think I'm going to go home and, as Jeff said, just probably.
You've yawned
do-
several times.
Well,
this week.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
Jeff, what
but-
was your terminology? What you said you were going to do today?
I'm gonna go home and be a piece of shit. I'm just a piece of shit, and I'm super cool with being
Don't
a piece
feel
of shit.
bad
yeah.
about
I'm
it.
not-
I
won't.
think we all deserve that
Yeah.
today.
And as you said, Chris, the day is perfect.
The
It's
weather's
overcast,
cooperating.
little bit of rain. If it was a little bit colder, I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of this weird weather on
No.
December 26th. It's just
Yeah, so
strange.
right now it's December. It's December 26th, and if my phone will load, I believe it said it was 50. It's 56 degrees right now.
62 yesterday.
56. It was 62 yesterday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow gonna be 55. Thursday 50, and then it does cool down a little bit. I mean, not
Not
like
crazy amount.
Yeah,
No.
it's not even below freezing.
Yeah.
It,
And
it actually warmed up because this weekend I was actually supposed to take a dip in like in the
Yeah.
mid 30s, and then now like you got 10 degrees warmer in a day.
yeah,
Like,
10 degrees.
It's crazy.
It was 62 yesterday for Christmas. It was cold, hotter, warmer on Christmas Day than it was for Thanksgiving and Halloween and Easter.
It was cold on Halloween. I remember.
Yeah, it was 30.
It was. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
we
it was-
froze
yeah, it was
passing
cold.
out candy that night.
Yeah.
I was definitely cold.
and it was 62 on
62.
Christmas.
What do you guys think if you could? I think we probably talked about this a million times, but it does bring a whole different vibe. The weather. So like it would to me it would be weird to be in a Florida or a California.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
like it's I don't know. And God bless those people if that's their thing. But I think it would always be a Debbie Downer.
I agree. When's the last time we saw a real snowy winter or Christmas Day?
We had it last year.
Last year was it was
We had snow?
We had snowed, I believe.
Because remember at the Christmas party, there was snow, and then it stayed so cold.
That's right. It was
that's
cold
right,
as
that's
shit.
right,
So
that's
cold,
right,
so that
that's
snow
right.
stayed on the ground. But then it also, we were talking about this too.
Oh, that's
it
right.
did flurry on Christmas Day last year, like not
That's
some
right.
like amounts, but so it was. But before that, I don't know.
Have you? I think in my life, I don't think I've ever seen a true white, like a hard snowstorm
Wake
on
up and it's
Christmas.
really
I don't.
cranking.
And it
that-
slows
from
the
what-
entire day.
Cranking.
I don't think since I've been alive that I've experienced. Have you guys?
I'm
Boy,
sure it
I don't
happened. I don't
remember.
know. I don't remember.
I don't
either.
remember.
But there's some benefits to that too. If I'm being real, I get to keep my sorry ass at home. For the people that are traveling 2 or 3
Yeah.
households, that would be tough. And we were talking about that. You were saying to Chris about back in the day. It is crazy. We were talking about my parents, what they did. Like we had to go like 2-3 places on
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. I'd have to go visit my aunt's house.
Yeah.
I'd have to go visit my
Oh, yeah.
grandfather.
Yeah.
And like you would be running the whole day.
Absolutely.
And like I look back at that now, what our parents did, man. And here I'm a whiny little bitch
I know,
compared
right? Yeah.
compared to what my parents did,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And my wife said on Christmas Eve, she said, you know what we should be doing today? We should be going over to Jeff's, have a drink, go to Lucian's, have a drink, go to Rodney's, have a drink, like the neighborhood. Just stop in, have one beer or one glass of wine, say hello, just
Mark,
wish
I
everybody
think
Merry Christmas, and just make it just a neighborhood family tradition. But
I want you to sing for me.
well, we did that
Well,
one.
that's what I'm saying.
We did that one
We
year.
did, yeah.
We came over and sang.
That was absolutely
Yeah, when your
phenomenal.
family was there, they probably thought we were all morons.
They know if I hang out with you, we're all good. They know. They know.
But I want to kind of switch. This is like off the wall here. This morning, Coach and I were doing a little after. Well, it had been a problem for a while, but then it got worse. Our sink in our bathroom got clogged up, and this morning, him and I were down. I had a flashlight, holding a flashlight, and he's in there with these gloves on. There was black muck all over the bathroom. We were the thing was clogged. We couldn't get a snake in there, or whatever. And it made me think of what job you think is the worst job like that you would not want to do. For me, plumbing for sure. I don't think I'd ever want to be a plumber.
That's why they make so much money.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do.
I'd
That's
say
what's
that
why.
in a like a tree cutter, like logging that to just based on how dangerous it is.
What about
I
a garbage man?
I think I could. I think of those two, of a plumber and a
Garbage
law, I would rather be a garbage man. I think, but I wouldn't want to do any of them.
The issue with a plumber is that they are in so many awkward, strange, difficult positions. Like one of the issues with me, and I was going to try to do this by myself because I was trying to. I can't. My knees are so bad that I can't get in a good position where I can manipulate. Like up, like if it's a faucet or something, I'm fine. Trying to get down, and I got my head down, and it's there's just a little bit, and you got to work around this line and this line, and it's just then if they're if they're behind a toilet, you only have so much room, and then you're dealing with so many different variables. Oh,
Not much maneuverability, is it?
Oh, it's
So many
horrible.
different angles.
Horrible.
No, and it's always dirt. It's always gross. There's always
I
something
agree with
that's
that.
that's
Stuff coming
gross,
out of
whether or
there.
not it's the toilet, the sink, or it's wet. It's obviously I mean you're dealing with that. It's wet. It's gross. I applaud those guys and people that cut trees because I have a buddy that does that, and it's
That's hard work,
man.
man.
That's work.
Hard work.
That's
Dangerous.
Those
Hard
guys
work.
make decent money doing that.
Tree guys.
I would imagine.
would
Yeah.
imagine.
I mean,
If they own their own business, yes.
Oh yeah, because I know they charge
for sure, arm and a leg.
and I think they
But
stay
they
pretty
earn
busy.
it.
I think they stay pretty busy, as do plumbers. So, yeah, I went down to Lou now because they took care of me last time, took care of us, and I went down and told them the issue, and so I'm waiting on someone to come and run a snake, and he'll come up and he'll get down there and boom, 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 boom.
They
put
come up
everything.
today.
Nah, well, they took my name and said, it's a tough week because one of the guys is off.
Call you back in about 2 months.
Yeah, and
Well, and-
have your, as you said, Jeff, have your checkbook ready.
Well, I was gonna say they'll come up. They'll be there
Just
for
to
15
come.
minutes.
Just to
15
come.
minutes will probably be there, and
Yeah, but they
100
know what they're
and
doing,
some bucks.
and I'll
That money will be well spent.
Yeah,
It is.
It really, I mean, it sucks, especially at the end of the day, especially this time of year.
Yeah, right.
You just got your dick kicked in from spending all kinds of Christmas money. And, hey, you know what? Here you go. Here's a
Yeah,
nice
this
little
is-
billboard.
Absolutely.
Here's a stocking stuffer on the 26th of December for you.
yes,
And just how things kind of happen that way. You get through the
Always.
expenses. So now I don't know if this will result in anything, but I think the day before Christmas, I was walking Toby, my dog, and then all of a sudden he pulls up lame. His back, I don't know if his paw or something's wrong with him. He's limping. And I got some medicine for him, but I don't think it's worked.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, well, if it doesn't heal, like sometimes he puts weight on, other times he doesn't. But so a vet bill is gonna.
Oh,
that's not gonna
you
be.
better be
$25.
ready there too.
So like I said, you got to take your checkbook and
Oh.
just the timing of it.
It is the timing.
right around the holidays, and
Yeah.
you spend.
And it
That's
keeps
always
you
a
humble.
guarantee. It
Yeah,
does.
you always
It
have to
does.
think though it could be worse. That's what
Yeah.
I try to remember. It could be worse. It could
true.
be.
There's no doubt.
It
There's
could
no
be.
doubt.
There's a lot
I
of
mean,
people that have things worse off than I do. You bitch about the littlest things, and then you step back and say, "Wait a second, is it really worth bitching about?" I mean, it's frustrating, but really. And
Do you
it's-
guys, honestly, that's a really good question for you guys. Do you honestly sit back over the holidays and count your blessings?
No,
Actually,
Not enough as I should.
I should, but I don't.
Do you?
That's a good question, Jeff. Yeah, I think about it and say, and especially like when something goes wrong, I said, listen, step back. Things aren't as bad as you think. You're pretty lucky in a lot of ways. So,
No,
yeah,
I
guess
agree with your statement. Probably not as enough as I should, but for some reason, this holiday was one of those holidays that like we were just kind of like, you know what? And it's there's so many people out there, and we just will take for granted a good meal at Christmas Day.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
there's people that are struggling just to sit down and have people you love, all cheesy, but all very realistic. That have a nice meal, have some drinks,
Yeah.
not having to worry about too much. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Well, let me piggyback off of that, and let me ask you guys a question. And I know obviously there's a lot of people struggling, but do you think that, like for instance, the Reverend Cummings thing that he does to give away, do you think there are people out there? I know the answer to this, that abuse free stuff, like that there's people that really need it, and then there's people that don't, but abuse it, and you feel like I'm not given to that because I think it's not a scam, but it's people are abusing it.
Oh, and it's just like that saying, a few bad apples ruins it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Coach about that too, because I'm right down there and I see, they do it for like Christmas, I think Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and even Easter maybe, or a back to school backpack thing. They're lined up for it. They have cops down there, and they have it nice and orderly. And but yeah, I've always wondered that too, Mark. If those 10 people in line, I think I know them. Do they really need to be in that line?
I wholeheartedly think that, and that is a struggle. It's no different than the guy that stands on the corner.
Yes.
You bleed for that person if it's legit.
Legit.
And it's funny, they were all absent today on the way down here. Like there was not one out standing outside today, which I thought Christmas must have been good to them.
Had one at Perkins, though.
Yeah, was there?
Yep.
Okay. But I think that, I don't know.
Well, and the thing is, it is such a good thing if the right people are there. I think it's great for them that they get what they need. But again, if it's people that don't really need it, it's ruins it. It's not a good thing.
There's so many organizations collecting toys for tots. How many kids can they give stuff to? I mean, really, I'm not saying it isn't right and it isn't good, but I like all the toys for tots and all this they're collecting for the kids. This collecting for the kids. This, like, where does it?
But here's my other problem with it is
Where does it end?
Where it does it? No, it's true. But
Where
here's
does it
the
end?
There is a difference between Mark Delbrook fell on some bad times, and we're going to help Mark through that bad time. But the people that just count on it
Don't even make an effort.
don't make an effort to better themselves.
Right.
Or the fact of the matter, and this is going to sound harsh and not popular, if you can't afford your kid, you shouldn't have a kid.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I should not.
And then don't have multiple.
Like it always bothered me. Where this really bothered me was travel sports. And here's the deal: travel sports isn't meant for every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Right.
And not here. And let me also disclose: just because you're on a travel team does not make you good as well.
Right.
That's
We
number
can go-
one.
yeah, we can go into that.
But what I'm getting at is, to me, I hated how people did their Mark Delbrook would do his own individual sponsorship to have people help him pay for Jubb and Jarrett's
Right.
To me, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's different if you're doing team. If you set the boys out.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
trying
see
to
what you're saying, yeah.
But it's my responsibility. If I'm going to sign Luke Doyle up to fucking do travel sports, it's not Chris Pavlik's job to pay for
right.
the.
Wait, I didn't even know people did that.
They fucking sure do. Like, hey,
Yeah.
help my kid get to Cooperstown.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Pay for your own shit.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Team, I get. If you go fundraise and you do a steak fry and you have the boys work it and teach them a lesson,
Right.
blah, 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 that kind of
okay,
shit.
yeah, I see
But
exactly what
Mark
you mean.
Delbrook's saying, hey, I'm going to put something on Facebook. Tommy's going to fucking Cooperstown. Help us get Tommy to Cooperstown. Do you want to buy this? Or do you mind donating? No.
Right, if you can't afford it, don't get him on the team.
I don't know why I'm
No,
saying
I agree
all
with
that,
that.
but I think from a standpoint of the kids thing, I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't house 6 kids, probably shouldn't have 6 kids.
Right. It just
I didn't even know that. I didn't know people did that.
Oh,
That's
yeah, they do
disgusting.
it.
I'll
But-
tell you what else it's big at. It's dance. Like dance and
Oh, yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like you'll see probably more in that arena than you would in probably a baseball arena.
Yes. Yeah. And now let me go back to this, Chris. We were talking about the gift card thing. Jarrett, what were we talking about? The ladies. They would take no. I know what I would say. They would get gifts from they'd go to down at Reverend Cummings' thing or this thing and get gifts, then take them to Walmart and cash them in for. They wouldn't give them cash, but they would get the gift cards, then sell the gift cards.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've heard you mention that recently. I don't know if it was on the radio or what, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's
take the gifts that they're getting from Toys for Tots or Reverend Cummings or whatever other charity, take them to Walmart, cash them in, say they didn't like them or blah, 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 get a gift card, and then sell the gift card.
Now, those people
and
should
then
be-
probably
they
use
should
the
be
money.
arrested. Those
then
people
probably
should be
use
arrested.
the money for
And blackballed from the
Absolutely.
system moving forward. Like if you're taking advantage of that way, you should
They
be
should
blackballed.
be called out. They should put their fucking name up on
I would agree.
online or Facebook or whatever.
I mean,
and
if
say,
you
"This
think,
is
I mean,
scammer."
that's literally stealing. You are literally stealing. That's like
From a
Stealing- hey,
charity,
hey,
too.
listen,
were
stealing your money.
You
Yeah,
are stealing
stealing your
money.
money. Stealing your-
Absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
And that's why I
It's
see
theft.
these guys out begging on the streets. Why don't they go get a job? I don't understand it. Go
did
to
talk about that too, yeah.
go to McDonald's. Go to wherever. Everybody's looking for workers, but no, you can't because my doctor said I'm on disability. I can't because of my back.
And they don't have a
Another
license.
kid tells me in Warwood, if I go get a job, then my rent will go up in one of the housing units. So I don't want to make more money, so I have to pay more. Well, that's the way life works, pal. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Well, Jeff, and I was when you said that earlier about so and so, someone we know could fall on hard times.
100%, man.
Victim
Absolutely.
of bad luck. I'm fine with that. I'll donate
All day, every day.
Yes, exactly. But I want to know the circumstances leading up to this person.
Right.
Like why? Like
Why?
Did you abuse drugs? Did you waste all the money that you had on drugs or just bad decisions, or are you a victim of just bad luck? Because I'm not giving them a fucking penny.
Right.
Because I want to stop sometimes and say, well, you got a cigarette in your mouth.
Right.
They're like $8 a pack. Those
Yeah.
shoes or boots you got on, they look pretty nice. I mean, what gives?
Yeah, let's
So
go-
They won't get a fucking penny.
Yeah,
from
let's
me.
go back through your life first. So you probably went to school at some
Yes,
point.
right.
Okay. So going through school, where did you graduate? A and B, if you graduated, then B, why did you not carry on and get a job? And then if you lost that job, go find another job that will help pay for the bills instead of being an enabler or trying to be enabled and have us, donate to your cause. I just don't.
Yeah, make an effort.
It's very frustrating to me.
It comes down to one thing, and it's laziness.
That's it.
I mean,
period. It really is. And I know
no
we-
work ethic, laziness.
It's
Listen
bad
to me.
though. Now we did talk about it the one time.
Laziness.
I think we've talked about it a couple times. I have that one cat that I met in Steubenville, and he could have been Buffalo and me, but he did say that when you do lose your identification and you don't have a house to have something sent to, or that would be so he can hook me there. I can
Yeah.
see that, but I do agree that that percentage, in my opinion, would be very tiny, and it's just people like you said, Jarrett, that's lazy or whatever. But one of my first experiences, back to the gift thing on people, how they put themselves out there. I was young. When I first started the hospital, and they were doing like a tree wish list or whatever, and families. I don't know if the hospital reached out or how it even transpired, but there was all of a sudden, we're at my department, there was a tree and it had a whole bunch of different family names, and one of the families I knew, and I mean, I'm not saying they were rich, but they were fine.
They were fine.
So to answer your question, that was my first experience.
There you go.
Like, are you shitting me? Like, they're asking for somebody to pay for their kids' Christmas?
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
I think some of these guys, and I know several of them running around Warwood, they get in this cycle. So they may have a job, but then they lose their license because of several reasons. Either they get DUI, they don't pay like their registration, or they don't get it inspected. So they lose their license. Then they lose their car. They had a job, but now they can't get to their job because they don't have a car. So if they now they don't have a job and they don't have a car. So it's like, I can't get to my job. I don't have a car. Well, do it step by step. Catch the bus, go to work here, save enough money to get a car, to get your insurance, and instead of just saying, well, I can't do either, so I'm just going to go beg. I mean, it's just laziness.
You know what they need to do? They need to call our friends at IC Cat.
All right, there you go.
Exactly right.
Work on time.
Yeah, you know what? 100%. A lot of people now do daily pay.
Yeah.
Like a meaning as in you can find jobs that you set up where you can get money daily. I agree. So that could be a way that you say, it's just pure. It's just disgusting.
And Mark, it seems like everybody's just looking for the convenient excuse not to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though being a piece of shit?
No, I can't. And here's the thing too, Jeff.
No.
There's some of these people that wherever they're living, as soon as they get up, they head and sit on a bucket out there by Perkins and do the same thing every day. And whatever money they make, they just go buy beer or cigarettes, and then get up and do the same thing.
And that's their life.
Like you said, could you imagine doing that every single day and have nothing to look forward to but begging and buying cigarettes and beer?
Around Wheeling, is that where we first remember that starting out in Perkins, or were there other?
No. It was. I tell you, it was the guy. It was the guy by the Bridge Tavern. He would stand there. I know exactly who this guy is. He's the one that started it. He was a.
Oh wow.
He was the one by the bridge. He would stand there and
Right
then
at the light.
Right at the light.
Okay.
Right, same guy every single day. Now he's been gone. I haven't seen him.
I don't remember him.
Oh yeah, that's where it started.
I just remember. I remember the guys at Perkins. Well, then the one guy that actually would sell newspapers by Arby's in Elm Grove. He actually did.
At least he was
actually doing a little something.
He was selling newspapers.
He was kind of the first guy I remember, but the guys at Perkins for sure were the ones.
At least
that I
Randy's
remember,
trying to make money by.
He's doing something. Yeah,
He's not begging.
Yeah, that's at least he's.
And I would, if the newspaper was $1, I would give him like $5, just because at least he's trying.
I would agree.
He's trying. He's not begging. But then it went from Bridge, then over to across the street to where you come off of
coming off the exit ramp off.
And then it started at Perkins, and now it's just.
Well, and then now they're both sides.
I was going to say both sides.
Yes.
Yes. Turf wars.
Yeah, it is.
Horrible.
But it is very
You're
true
bombarded
though.
with it, and it's frustrating.
If I was going to ask for money, I would, and once again, this is going to go back to our famous word self-awareness in this room, but if I was going to beg for money, I would hopefully be self-aware enough to kind of go back off your statement. To me, smoking a cigarette in front of somebody and asking for money is just a slap in the face.
Absolutely.
And you know that we're not smart, and but here's the deal. Everybody else is thinking our same thoughts when they see them smoking a cigarette. So wouldn't you think that, okay, for the 8 hours I'm going to fucking stand here, I'm not going to smoke.
Right.
It's going to look bad if
Absolutely.
I'm at. So I think actually you would hope you'd be smart enough too that maybe I'll get more money if I'm not smoking.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, if you're not
totally
smoking,
agree.
shit, I'd be out there in my underwear.
Yeah, like fuck.
dumb.
I'd literally be in my underwear, no shoes. Like, please, I have nothing.
And last but not least, this pisses my wife off, and I know we're all this in this room because we're all big animal lovers. It fucking wigs her out. She'd rather give fucking something to the dog.
Absolutely, 100%.
Than the person.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Some dude was doing it. I think it was Black Friday. I think he
100%.
was at Kroger's in St. Clairsville. Can you imagine that stop sign there on Black Friday?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
But he had a fucking dog. It pissed her off so fucking bad. She wanted to just fucking.
What, like using a dog?
Using
like
a dog. Yeah.
sympathy, like, oh, look at that.
No, I'd rather.
Yeah, and that poor dog's probably got a terrible life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You'd be good then. Have her go in the store, come back, go back around, and drop off a big box of dog biscuits.
Yeah, you're
Nothing
right.
for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
I've always wanted to hand to some of these guys a job application somewhere. Here you go. But anything helps. Well, here, try this. This will help a lot.
Cool concept.
I gave honestly, and we'll end this subject. But I stopped at Perkins one time, and I don't know why. One of the only times I ever gave the guy $1, and he says, "Is that all you're going to give me?"
Oh my God! See, you know what?
He said that to me. Is that all you're going to give me? I literally was screaming. I almost got out of the truck, grabbed the $1, and like wanted to punch him. Is that all? I was like, oh.
You should be allowed to.
You should be.
Yes.
You should be allowed to.
Well, one thing that I know you said you want to switch gears, and unfortunately, this is still a hateful thing, but it bothered me on the Christmas holiday too. Did you guys hear Patrick Mahomes? He was crying.
No, I heard about this.
So he was whining and crying before the games because he had to play on Christmas Day, and he was going to take away time from his kids. And I tell you what, man, I don't know why it pissed me off.
I'm tired of him.
Well, I'm tired of him, but I'm just in general. Can you imagine, once again, self-awareness? You're talking our military, our healthcare, nothing. The world doesn't shut down on Christmas.
No.
There's plenty of fucking people that are working.
Absolutely.
But they're not. They don't have a $500 million contract.
Right.
Like they're just going out and trying to make a living and put food on the fucking table.
Good point.
And this fucker's whining about playing football that he's $500 million on and then to boot, like I told my family, I could maybe a tiny percent say, man, if he had to fly across country, then he was in his backyard. He got into his fucking car and drove 20 minutes to his house.
Yep.
He was home in no time. I mean, shut the fuck up, man.
I agree.
Just
I'm tired of him anyway.
Me too.
I'm tired of him, and I think he's an average quarterback right now at best. Average at best.
Well, something's showing.
He looks slow to me. He looks indecisive. He looks like he's always wanting to, and he can't do the things he used to do. Like all that crazy shit that he used to be able to do, you don't see him do that anymore.
Weapons either.
No,
him
not having Tyreek.
He doesn't, and they are. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but honestly, ever since his Taylor Swift stuff started,
100%.
That team has not been the same.
Look at Kelsey. Same thing.
He's a non-factor.
He's irrelevant.
He's an absolute non-factor.
He's dropping the ball.
Before she came along, you could count on Mahomes to find Travis Kelce somewhere on the field almost every play.
He was open every
play. He's a non-factor, and he doesn't even look like he gives a shit anymore. And they are not even close to the team they used to be.
They started doing those fucking ads for the shot from Pfizer. Fuck you,
Mr. Pfizer.
Kelsey.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And then Taylor Swift. Yeah, I mean, what are they now? Like 9-7, 9-6, I think.
It's not. Like that's 9-6, I think.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But
Yeah.
But they're still.
They're still leading their division. They're leading their division. But I'm telling you, they are not even a shadow of what they used to be.
And actually, did you see? I thought Andy Reid yesterday was fucking phenomenal too. Did you see he fucking went up and body checked fucking Kelsey?
Yeah, he did because he threw his helmet.
Fucking threw his helmet.
I didn't see that.
Fucking, and Andy Reid's, as we all know, a very cool, calm, and kind of cat. He got in his fucking face. He actually fucking like kind of shivered him with his fucking shoulder, like to say, "Dude, what the fuck you doing?"
Really?
And made him sit.
Yeah. So one of the coaches had his helmet and was going to go give it to him, and he said, "Don't give him his helmet." He said, "Don't give him that helmet."
I bet Andy Reid's tired. I bet Andy Reid's tired of the whole shenanigans going on.
Hey,
around
let's
the
play
team.
football, fellas.
Since week 7, Travis Kelce's had 1 touchdown.
That's crazy.
Since
That
week
is
7.
unbelievable.
Yeah, 0-0 by 1-0-0-0-0-0.
That's
You talk about a guy. I mean, at least temporarily falling off a cliff. I mean, he was from all world to nothing. Now.
He's literally a non-factor.
No,
Yeah, he had 3 in the first 4 games, and then went 0, and then actually I could say since week 5 he's had 2.
When did he start with his baby doll? When did she come along?
I'd say right around then.
I was going to say,
right
is
around
that,
then.
is that where the tie is right there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just coincidence, but it just seems to me like ever since all that shit started with her, they are not even close to being the team.
I wonder what the teammates think. Like, just if there's just too much,
as long as they're getting paid.
But when you think though he would have once again enough as a professional adult that he would have enough sense to go, we probably need to chill out a little bit.
Yeah,
we're losing football games right now. Now there's probably isn't a good look on us. You know what, Taylor? Please maybe don't come to a game or whatever. Like, let's take away the hoopla and put some focus. You think that they would be smart
focus on our relationship in the offseason.
And I like when she starts to make her comments about football. What's wrong with the Chiefs? What's going on with the referees?
I looked up. They started dating on September 24th. Well, her first public appearance at a Chiefs game was on the 24th of September. So that would have been
by week 4.
And the other thing is, who cares?
I know.
Exactly.
Who gives a
cares?
shit? I remember when it started, every third or fourth play they would show her in the press box. But somebody made a good point, and I don't know, it might have been Pat or somebody. He said, do you think the NFL did this because maybe they were losing a little traction?
I'll be honest, I can see that.
Do you think they said, hey, this could be a money? Well, did you see the Chiefs and Taylor Swift's memorabilia or whatever the shit you call it, that stuff they sold, how it skyrocketed?
I did see something like that.
And you got to think, did the Chiefs say, hey, we need to pick up our revenue here. We need to get more fan interest. We need to get people really engaged. Let's really crank this up with Taylor Swift.
You know what's sad about that?
That would definitely be a possibility.
I think so for sure.
Without a doubt. But how crazy is it that they want to go that route? How about just improve your product?
That'd be good.
What a cool concept. People are there to watch the product. So what? That should not
Who
be. That should be
cares?
not their
Right.
marketing ploy. It should be, let's improve our product.
Listen, and you've said it a long time. You Matt, the NFL is not a good product right now. It's not a good.
Everybody you talk to says the same.
It's
fucking
not.
thing.
It's just not
terrible.
fun to watch.
To me, I knew when it's bad is when Nick, who is a diehard NFL fan, diehard Charger fan, said that it's the worst. And I agree. It is the worst it's ever been. It is so bad.
And I'm not saying that I don't still like to sit down and watch it. I still, because when you bet on it and you're in fantasy and all that shit. But here's the thing too. If it wasn't for fantasy and betting, the NFL would be in major trouble.
Surely.
I think it would be. I think that hell, what percent of fans watch it every day, day in and day out, and follow it because of fantasy football?
I would agree.
Because of gambling.
And that brings a whole new added value, because even Jane down the road that never really watched
Absolutely.
it, they brought her in
100%
to watch a little
100%.
bit. Yeah.
And you guys say too, the refereeing, oh God. And I'm not saying it's an easy job. It's like watching the NBA, and I say all the time, how the hell these guys officiate, these 300-pound guys just mashing each other all day. But the things they call and then the things they don't call, you sit there and say, God, he just raped him on a pass, and he just, and then they call shit that's unbelievable, and you're like, I don't know. I just sometimes think there's shady shit going on there
absolutely.
too.
And it just drives me nuts. I bitch about any time that we bring up the referees, is how in a tight game when you got the defense and it's been a battle all game. And the receiver and the defender just fighting like hell, and they call pass interference. And no matter, you get the ball where
that's
not
horrible.
Fair.
That's
you could be at the 50-yard line.
That's terrible.
Fourth and 2, and throw it deep. Pass interference, you get the ball to 2.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's horrible. I agree.
And that's so subjective.
like on a 3rd and 25, and there's an illegal chuck.
On the other side,
like on the other side, and it's just 5 yards off the line.
Yes,
and it's a 5-yard automatic first down.
But it was 3rd and 25, but you get a first down.
I just don't get that. It happened yesterday, and I forget what game it was, and I was like, why is that automatic first down? But anyway, that's a whole.
Well, Mark, what happened the other day in the college game? Because I told you guys I haven't been. What happened at the end of a college game on the onside kick? They called a late penalty, and the coach flipped out. I didn't know
they kicked it again, and then didn't the guy return it?
Something dumb happened. It caused somebody to lose
I don't
the
know.
game.
Yes,
I don't know.
What about the kid that cold cocked? Did you guys see that?
I did see that.
They're doing at the end of the game. The other team is doing the alma mater, and it would have been what Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Michigan and South Alabama.
Yeah.
Literally, they're doing their alma mater.
Yeah, South Alabama's out on the field doing their alma mater.
The Eastern Michigan is gone, and then all of a sudden, one dude comes out, and literally the dude had his back turned towards looking at the stands, and fucking cold cocked him. Started
right in the back. Well, the guy had his helmet on too, so it didn't even matter. Like,
wait. So the Eastern Michigan
the guy from Eastern Michigan.
There's just one guy left on the. So you think it was a targeted guy that during the game?
They're singing their alma mater.
Singing their alma mater, and the guy came out after the game and punched the guy in the back of the head, and then 9 South Alabama guys get on top of the guy and jump. It's just, it was the dumbest thing in the world. And this guy punched him with his helmet on. The guy had his helmet on. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. Probably during the game, they probably were in some little scuffle, and that was what he wanted.
Wow.
I can imagine that guy's probably not on the team anymore. I can imagine that it's.
I knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Though. It's so sad though. Like, so I know I'm a big believer that everybody deserves a second chance. To me, I think like that's that one-off situation that you make an example of, and you say,
You don't get
guess what? You don't get to play football ever again, dude.
You're done.
You're done.
Yep.
But you know what, though, too? If he's disciplined by his coach, then he could just say, well, I'm going to leave. I don't like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Go to another team.
Yeah.
I think I'll try Western Michigan this time.
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
Well, he can go Western, and then he can try Central, and then maybe he can try Michigan State.
There you
and then
go, right?
he
He's
can
got
go
a
to
little
Michigan.
plethora.
He can go to a lot of them. But God, we could go on about NFL forever.
but Mark,
really.
I was going to say, you probably said this at least 2 years ago. We were probably at Pine Room or at a bar, and you said you can't. So you got to hold your breath when something good happens.
Every play.
Before you can celebrate, because you're waiting for that yellow flag
Always
on the screen.
Always.
And so you got to temper your
You
celebration.
gotta,
you gotta wait.
yeah. Oh, it's no doubt about it. It's just, it's
not a good product.
It's not
You're
a good
right.
product. I think it's gone really, really downhill. And then you turn over and watch the NBA, and that's
And LeBron faked an injury last night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got tied up with some guy. That guy fell down and it looked like he was hurt. Then LeBron grabbed his knee. Then he went down because he wanted the.
I will say this though, and I'm not. Those guys are freak athletes. They are freak athletes. And a guy told me, who was it? He said, like any big NBA guy, he said they're best athletes in the world. I totally disagreed with him. I said, no, more I watch them, they are freaks. They are specimens. The size of the guys anymore. I mean, and they get up and down the court so unbelievable, and they can take off from anywhere and dunk, and they can shoot. I mean, I'm not an NBA guy by any stretch, but to watch those guys athletically, it's just they are.
I would say athleticism. Why I would say they're probably.
They're
and
freaks.
watching like a courtside video of those guys, how fast they are and how strong they are. I definitely think athletically for sure.
You know what's amazing to look at them is their shoulders. How big their shoulders, their biceps and triceps, and their trunks. They're all so freaking big. And to watch them bang each other, I asked Tony. I said, "How do you, Tony Chiazza?" I said, "How do you officiate this? It seems to me like there's a foul on every. So how do you differentiate from this is a foul and this is just banging? I don't know, but they're incredible athletes.
I would agree with that. It is. They're impressive.
And I remember seeing Dwight Howard one time. I thought his body was and talking about the shoulder. He was like a thoroughbred. I mean,
They're unbelievable, and they're all cut up. They have like 3% body fat. They're freaks of nature.
Well, I don't know how do you even guard a guy like Wembanyama, who's 7'2" now,
or the dude from Denver,
Jokic.
Yeah.
How do you guard him?
How do you guard Giannis? I mean, even LeBron. How do you guard LeBron? How do you?
I don't know. It's just it is crazy.
But I will say, and I always argue this. I think skill okay, so if you put an NBA player in an MLB against a baseball pitcher, he's not gonna touch it. If you put an NFL player, besides maybe a few, into a baseball game, they probably won't touch a pitch. But if you put a baseball player in a basketball game or a football game, they'll at least be able to hold their own.
Yeah, but you don't see a Rowdy Tellez or a John Crocker, any of those guys running around on a football field or a basketball court. I mean, you can get away with sometimes being a fat slob and play baseball, like a David Wells or a
that definitely.
Who was a guy for the Mets?
Bartolo Colon.
He's
a mess.
I mean, you can get away with that,
yeah.
but in the basketball or football,
they're definitely better athletes.
So you're just
sure.
saying,
I'm saying skill. I would say in skill wise, I guess is what I'm trying to.
I don't know. That's a big argument, but I'd say, and most athletes will say hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing in all of sports to do. 100-mile-an-hour fastball or a slider that breaks like this, or it's probably the toughest. But overall skill level, I would say basketball players are But then you got to look at hockey
I was
players
just going
too.
to say, you think
Put
what
those
they
guys
do,
on
man?
skates.
On skates,
you got to,
man.
you got to look at hockey
and they're
players.
big men too, man. Some
yeah.
of those cats
And
are freakish huge.
And I compared a hockey goalie to has to be one of the freak athlete.
Yeah, I agree.
To have the reaction time and be able to see through different, Christ,
That's not normal,
people.
guys.
That's not normal.
No,
That's
it's not
really
The way
normal.
they can do the splits and make those kicks.
Oh, Jesus. And then see the traffic ahead of them, and then the shot gets deflected, and they're able to flinch just enough to get an elbow
or
on
just
her.
like a guy coming in and fires like a 100-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
slap shot.
Yeah, like-
I mean, my
and
God.
like an easy glove, like a glove save.
Yeah,
or
like
kick
that.
it. Or kick it this way, and then the guy wraps around the other side, and he kicks that way, and like you said, does a split.
You know,
You're
actually, I
right.
don't follow hockey enough. Is there any big goalies? Like,
Oh, they're a lot bigger now. Yeah, there's
like,
guys
is
that
there
are,
like truly like big dudes?
yeah,
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some guys that are probably 6'4", 6'5", and then add on another 2 inches with skates.
Oh wow.
And then, excuse me, I know from years the goalie pads now are massive.
Yeah.
Like their shoulder pads.
Well, they have to
they're-
be because the shots are so.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing to me, staying with hockey, and they were doing something on Bobby Hall or Gordie Howe or something.
Yeah.
Those guys, the padding they used to have, they didn't wear face masks.
I know, man. That's
The
just
goalie.
The
great.
goalie didn't
Wouldn't
wear a face mask.
The goalie didn't wear
Didn't
a
wear
face
a face
No.
mask.
No.
Not even like a Jason mask.
No, nothing. No.
Those were the
That's
coolest
absurd.
ones, though. The Jason,
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, but no, back. I mean, back, and then you remember too, and there were still
So
guys that
It's unbelievable.
that we watched play that never wore helmets.
No, wear helmet. Didn't wear helmet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, what the fuck was CTE?
Yeah, right. I mean,
That's unbelievable.
Chris, is Connor Bedard going to be one of the greatest players
I mean,
ever?
I haven't seen him enough. I mean, I think he's got like 10 or 12 goals. He's pretty tough. He's a small guy, but I don't know if he's going to be the greatest. Or jury's still out, but he's having.
Yeah, I mean,
he's having a
18
good rookie
I
season.
mean, he's 18 still, so I mean,
it's hard to
obviously
believe.
he's still
Crazy, too.
he's
That
still
is hard.
young. But I've seen some of his goals that he's had.
Did you see that one where you showed
the
it to
Michigan-
me?
Was that
Michigan.
the lacrosse goal type?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What'd he do, pick it
I think
up?
they called him Michigan, and they
Well, yeah,
puts it
because a guy
on the
did that
stick, and
years
he
ago for Michigan.
yeah, and then
That
the
is
same
legal, right?
yeah
Okay.
yeah, and then the
Connor, what did
same
he do? I'm
the
sorry?
same night.
Tell
Yeah,
Jeff.
he picked the puck up. He's
But he
behind the
yeah.
net, and he picks the puck up with
So
his
the-
stick.
the
and
puck's
the
staying
puck's
on his
on
blade.
top of the blade, and he just whips it around the back of the net into like the
Now you got to
top shelf.
understand, he isn't just standing there. There's
mean,
guys skating at him. There's guys draped on him. Well, maybe not draped on him, but he's in the middle of action. Just picks the puck up like the puck was literally glued to the top of his stick, swung around the net, and threw it in above the goalie's.
Like
wow.
up over his shoulder.
And then-
Look that up if you
Well,
got.
and then
it's unbelievable.
The same night, another guy I can't remember
Connor
who,
Bedard goal. It's
who
unbelievable
for,
if you ever
who
look
it was
it up.
for did the same thing.
yeah,
and the same night.
I
and-
didn't look at the video, but there were two guys.
And
that did it
I
on the
saw
same-
somebody that compared it, and they were like, comparatively, this would be like two guys in the NBA doing a 720 windmill dunk at the same in the same night. So like that was so incredibly rare. That's why I was asking about Bedard. But
Yeah,
crazy.
He's gonna be a superstar.
The thing
Yeah.
about hockey is, as opposed to NFL, NBA, even Major League Baseball, to me, it's so pure. It's like there isn't any hot dogging. There isn't any stupid shit going on like NFL or NBA. They play the game, and it's just a game to me. It's
yeah,
not
because
a,
in hockey, if you do stupid
not a
shit, you're gonna get
sideshow.
your
There's
ass-
no-
Yes.
you're gonna get your
There's-
ass beat if you do it.
There's no sideshows, and there's no
Yeah, and-
hot dog, and when they score a goal, they all just
Do
go
it together
as
as
a
a
team.
team, yeah.
As a team, it isn't. I mean, after a while watching the NFL, it to me it just becomes funny. I watch some of these guys.
Speaking of that, yesterday, did you see the dude? I can't even imagine doing this to a kid. Did you see what he did, the Raider dude?
I
went-
thought that was funny.
He
though.
went over to a little kid, was going to give him the ball, and then took it back.
I was
Oh,
a
Chiefs
Chief-
guy?
But it was a Chiefs fan though. Is he fucking with that kid?
It's Christmas, dude. Come on. And
Really?
Yeah. How about also? Did you guys see
I got-
Tyreek Hill?
What did he do?
He is on his
Yeah, I was going to bring that up on the show.
third kid in 4 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
Three
three
different
different
baby
women.
mamas.
Different women.
Yeah,
and two of them have already filed paternity suits.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
Tyreek's
And he
doing
has
well.
like at least 7 children, I think. I don't know if it's all
Yeah,
from
and
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to say about that.
right, dude.
I don't even know what to say about that.
culture.
That's just horrible.
Well,
That's
yeah,
that-
it-
That poor kid.
honestly, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Right?
Poor kid.
You're just like you're planting your seed. Like I mean, I know it sounds funny, but it is just planting your seed everywhere. I don't know.
Oh no,
And I'm pretty sure that Tyreek had a pretty good home, not as a kid, but now I thought he had a good solid wife, nice. Obviously has a nice home, but a good
Like a
family,
family guy.
good family. That's what I thought from videos that I seen him at.
Wasn't there a
but
video or an audio of him talking shit on he was going to beat the fuck out of. He's a goof.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, he was gonna. I did hear something gonna beat his wife or something. What's that was?
Yeah,
Hey.
it was an audio.
Hey,
thing.
but-
Hey, Chris, I got news for you. He's not the only one.
Right.
Go down the line.
Yeah,
Go down
Hey,
the
a
line.
lot
Hey,
of
hey,
them played for the Steelers.
Yeah, your boy, you're right.
Hey,
well,
goddamn
George
it, he
Pickens,
can run.
George Pickens will be happy now for a while.
Right.
He got his
At
3
least till the
catches
next game.
for 190 yards and a couple touchdowns, so he'll be all right. So
Yeah. Maybe he'll block next game.
Tomlin won't have to worry about him for at least another game.
That
maybe.
is the.
Well,
that's absurd,
they'll
too.
be all fired up because now Mason Rudolph. I think.
Oh, hey, now all
I
of a
think
sudden-
Mason Rudolph. I think that he's going to start against Seattle.
But
I think.
if you even say I think Mason Rudolph's a good quarterback,
Oh, no. Well,
because
no, he's elite.
We'll see.
That's exactly
Oh,
right. Everybody's
we'll
so high
see.
now. There's a reason he's a fucking third string.
Well, that's like
mean-
right, and that's like when they got rid of Matt Cannon. Everybody said, "See, we got rid of Matt Cannon. We got 400 yards."
But they only had one
then
touchdown.
and then they lose to New England and who else?
Arizona.
Arizona, back to back. So
And then he got
Who-
embarrassed by the Colts.
right, we'll
Yeah,
see
right.
with Mason Rudolph. We'll see.
Who would have guessed that in week 16 that Pittsburgh would be chanting Mason Rudolph
Oh, Jesus.
against the Bengals?
It could have been anybody. If
I
Jeff
mean-
Doyle was there and was the fifth string, they would have been yelling for Jeff. I mean,
Jeff
it's just
converts a third down.
get rid of.
Doyle's our guy.
Doyle's our guy.
Yeah, man. They when Pickett was struggling, they were chanting for who was his backup?
Mitch.
They were
Trubisky.
chanting. Yeah, good.
How about AJ Brown too, wanting to? He was whining and bitching about NFL needs to do away with Monday Night Football.
Oh, really?
Just needs to do away with it.
But why? What?
Because you know what, Chris? And here's the deal. I mean, I can see a tiny valid point, but Chris, I mean,
No.
their bodies are beat up a little bit, and they have a hard time getting ready for that following Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Do you feel bad?
No.
Okay.
How bad does their body hurt when they go get that check? And
I know, right?
yeah,
Like it's just like
I know.
just shut up.
Although I think they should do away with Thursday night football.
I do. I
but
think
but
Thursday-
not for them, for the viewers, right? Not you think for the players,
No, I don't care about the players.
right? That's what I,
No, I'm
that's
just
what I
saying
mean.
for us because, and I have
No,
not,
I agree.
I have not seen one third. I don't get what is it usually on Amazon
It's on Prime, yeah.
I don't
Prime.
get that, but I have now. I might go somewhere and watch Thursday's game because it's the Browns. But I have not missed. I've not seen one of those Thursday nights game. I don't miss it. I
You
don't
don't
I mean,
care.
I just
Well,
look on my phone.
usually this year
Yeah.
the Thursday night games have been incredibly shitty.
Yeah,
Oh, they were bad.
Really
Horrible
bad.
games.
I think
It's
at one
purposeful,
point,
too.
I think 1.12 out of 13 games have gone under, and under like really by a lot.
Oh, wow,
like
that's
really
bad.
bad games.
Fortunately for viewers, that game was Christmas Eve. Ended up being a pretty good game, but the matchup itself.
The
sucked.
Dolphins and the Cowboys.
No, the Broncos and Patriots.
Oh Jesus,
That came
that
down
was.
to a 50-some yard field
Oh
goal.
God, that was so
And that
bad.
kid had
though.
missed 2 field goals or a bad extra point and missed a chip shot. And then so then he goes and can. I think he was like 55 yards.
It is
I think so,
unbelievable
yeah,
how
that
far
guy.
these guys kick the football. I
Everything's
just
a
can't
chip shot.
believe it. How far they kick the football. I remember when it was coming, many years ago. Like if a guy made a 50-yard field goal, it was
Big deal.
Oh, you
It
get
was-
on the phone and call your buddy. You won't believe this. This guy kicked a 52-yarder. Like
that. If they can't kick 55 or 60 now, they're not going to be in the NFL. I was talking to Andrew Glass at the Wheeling Park faculty party because his parents, his dad's a teacher and a coach, and we got talking. I was
He's by the way, he's the kicker
Kent
for
State.
Kent State's
Yeah, he kicks for
kicker.
Kent State and is really
good.
really good. He said he can nail it now. He's hit it from 67.
Oh wow.
that's
Yeah.
his longest one.
67 outside with the wind, a little wind at his back, but indoors he can hit it from 65. He said.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go through the Thursday night football schedule this year. I actually the more points than I thought. Week 2 was Eagles Vikings. That was a 34-28 game. That went over.
That might have been the only over there was.
Niners Giants. That was 30-12. Lions Packers 34-20. This was the worst one I remember at the time. Was the Bears Commanders. Bears Commanders was Thursday night. That was a 40-20 game. And then you go.
These are all Thursday?
These are all Thursday. Yeah.
I thought I read that they like 12 out of 13
here's where it gets. Chiefs Broncos 19-8. And then Jacksonville New Orleans 31-24. But some of these teams are so bad. Buffalo Tampa Bay 24-18. Steelers Titans 2016. How bad that game was.
Wow, yes.
That game was awful. The Bears again. Bears Panthers. We're on Thursday Night Football. Bears Panthers 16-13. Ravens Bengals, that was an okay game. Dolphins Jets. Seahawks Cowboys. Steelers Patriots, which was another horrible one. And then Chargers Raiders. Saints Rams. And then this week Jets Browns.
Oh, wow.
They should be able to flex all those games.
They should.
Because I know beginning of the year they got to come out with the schedule, and they're just kind of doing based on who they think is going to be good. But every single year there's probably 5 or 6 teams that are projected to win 10, 12 games, and they absolutely fucking suck.
Yeah, right.
But you still got to. But they're on Monday Night Football in Week 14. Like it'd be like having the Panthers on.
100%.
What are they 2-14, 2-13? I mean, they're terrible.
They are bad. Very bad.
Yeah, actually, speaking of football, Say just texted us and said that our buddy Mike Florio is getting a lot of heat because about what was he saying about they would never.
If San Francisco was healthy, there would be no way that Baltimore would even come close.
And disagree with him all you want, and that's fine. Maybe it's a stupid thing for him, but what is everybody upset about?
Right.
I mean, the fucking Ravens went in and kicked the fucking shit out of the 49ers. Get on the plane and go home, and don't worry about Mike Florio.
Right.
I mean, really, is it?
Right.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
People are nuts.
Truly
They are
certifiably nuts.
I think that's all
Well,
we
now
can.
the thing is, they'll call out any reporter or somebody who covers the game, an analyst that's never played, so they don't know what they're talking about. Well, you never played. You don't. What do you know? Like. I mean, fuck, we've never played, but I mean, we know what we see and we understand the game.
Common sense.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, that word
That's
too.
lacking everywhere.
Not good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they get so upset about it. I mean, it's their job.
Yes.
It's literally Mike's job to make picks, stir up. That's his job to stir people.
Without
He's
a
probably
doubt.
so excited. Mike is probably loving this right now because I guess Lamar Jackson said something about him, and I guess somebody else, Roquan Smith, said something about him. So, I mean, he is probably loving it right now.
And I bet he's not going to fucking have a trouble going to sleep tonight.
No.
But I wonder if that would have happened. Like, would the Ravens have called it, or you said, yeah, boy, that Florio was right. We did get our ass kicked. No, it's. I don't get it.
We could go on and on forever, but I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. Coming up on an hour.
Guys need to go be pieces.
Yeah,
of shit
Today we're gonna keep
It's
it
coming up on me hard.
Yeah,
I was going to try to do
I'll tell
something
you
today
what.
productive, but then Jeff talked me into
Being a
being
piece
a
of
piece.
shit.
Hey, I have a feeling if we would have done this in the dark, he'd have been asleep a half
I would have been
hour ago.
asleep.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you think? Mark.
Mark, shake him. Is he alive?
I would have just painted my eyes open.
Yeah, but
Been
that's
like weekend at Bernie's.
yeah, we'll keep him alive. But that'll be that's a wrap here for episode 90. Little shorter, light episode today. Guys got stuff going on.
Still hard hitting though. Jared.
Yes, hard
Still
hitting.
Pressing. Very pressing.
We got 10 more till 100.
Boy,
So-
what we got to start thinking about a big celebration for 100. Where are we going to do that?
Jill's.
Yeah,
There you go.
potential.
Yeah.
Yep.
That we'll figure it out. But again, thanks for listening here, and we'll see you next time in the Pine Room.
Happy New Year.
Yes,
Peace.
yes.